am not pregnant.
Whoever made this show either skimmed the book or had a vendetta against the book.
Hey, by the way, there's this side effect. I don't know if you've heard of it.
It's called pregnancy.
Can we just be done?
Like, that's not the point of the book. That's not the point of the story at all.
I'm not getting pregnant.
I can't think of any person who read these books that will like this show. Welcome back to Book Talks Podcast. This is Kayla.
And Marissa.
And in this episode, we are comparing the show Every Year After to the book Every Summer After. And we have lots of thoughts. Before we get into it, this is a spoiler warning for show and TV show, or show and book.
We know words.
The show and the book. Oof.
Yeah. Well, and also, we did record an episode about the book already, so we'll link that. So if you want to book only, you can go back and watch that. Now we're doing the show, and oof is a great place to start.
I was just telling Marissa, I don't know where to start because I, hated it. The more I watched, the more I was like, I can't believe... I feel like the producers had, a vendetta against the book.
Yeah, if I were Carly Fortune, I would be hiding my face from the public right now because I would be so embarrassed if that was people's introduction to her book. I would not be looking up the book after what I just watched, personally. And it honestly made me not want to watch or read the next book, One Golden Summer, which you said was better than the first book. But after watching this show, I was like, I don't think I like any of these characters and want to continue with them.
No, I literally took after we recorded, I took One Golden Summer off my bookshelf to reread because I liked it that much, and us talking about it made me want to reminisce. And I literally put it back on the shelf. I said, you know what? After this TV show, it's not a reread. No, the part that actually really pissed me off the first was the fact that they made it so Americanized. In the book, it's all in Canada. She lives in Toronto. Barry Bay's in Canada. They, she lives in Toronto. Charlie, I think, moves back to Toronto. They all go to school in Canada. And then now she's, from Seattle, and they all go to, Stanford. I'm like, what do you think so little of your viewers that, the fact that it's in Canada would make people not want to watch it?
Yeah, that is just one of many what I call unnecessary changes. I understand that sometimes when you're adapting book to screen, you have to change things, right? You have to make it more dramatic or, tailor it to a viewership as opposed to a readership. Fine. But between them, I can't understand this change at all. Did you realize they changed Taylor's job, Taylor, who is dating Sam, from a big-time lawyer in the book to a pediatric surgeon? What did that do to benefit the show in any way, shape, or form? I was like, why? Now I feel like you're just punking us. You're just changing things because you can. And it doesn't add anything.
No, and that also goes to the whole, I almost called her real name, Sadie. But Percy getting the restaurant, that was, the stupidest plot point. Because, so... the whole, there's a couple plot points that I'm like, why would we lose this plot that the book has? But, to create this more rift between Sam and Percy, why? I guess you just need more drama, but, I just thought it was so unnecessary. Sam is such an unlikable character in this show because he's so mad at Percy for everything that she really, is not at his fault for, but, you can't make him likable in any matter when you're making him so hateable.
Yeah. No, so the tavern ownership thing really threw me for a loop. And then at one point, I think I was on episode 7 and my friend had been asleep. So she missed episodes 5 and 6 probably. So then she comes back in episode 7 and she goes, so who ended up getting the tavern? And I sat there for a second. I said, I think they just dropped that plot line. They introduced this plot line and they were going to fight for it. Charlie and Sam were going to get in contact with lawyers and fight for it and whatever. And then I feel like it just kind of faded into the background. I was like, that's really weird.
Until the last 10 minutes of the last episode. And it was like, oh, we have this hole we have to fill. And it's like,
Yeah,
so stupid.
I so like not only did they introduce plot lines, but then they didn't finish them or didn't develop them. I don't know. It was the whole thing. I mean, the second I saw Delilah on the screen as adult Delilah, I was like, I'm sorry, but she's not in the book as adult Delilah. Like, what are we? Okay, this is new. And then they have her with Charlie. And so the whole time my friend is like, oh, so the second one's about Charlie and Delilah. And I was like, no, it's not.
I would have been fine with the Delilah like coming back thing if she wasn't so insufferable.
Okay, see, I kind of liked her. We're going to differ on this one just a little. I think she gave the show exactly what it needed.
Really?
She was just like the relief from Sam and Percy's angst. Because their angst really was like high school, even as adults. And so I felt like having Delilah was just like the comic relief.
Well, and that kind of goes on. I do think Percy's super immature in the book. So that wasn't too far off in the book. But they made Sam super immature, which adult Sam in the book is not immature. We like love adult Sam in the book. I hate adult Sam in this show.
He was horrible. And then there's even this moment, I think it's in the last episode. There's this moment where after the funeral at the tavern, he's talking with Charlie and he's like, thanks for getting up there, man, and saving the speech, all that stuff. Families, I liked what you said about families sticking together, blah, blah, blah. Oh, but by the way, I still hate you and I don't have a family. And I was like, we have like 10 minutes left in the show. What is happening? I was livid. I was like, you've made him this unredeemable character that I hate. Like, I don't even want a happy ending for Sam.
No, he was like this, I don't know, he was just like this robot. They just made him so unlikable, and I don't know if it's the actors doing, because I mean, he was a real, like, I do not act. Maybe I should probably not judge acting, but as someone who knows the story well, I've read the book twice, he is the worst. Like, he does not portray Sam in any way at all.
See, I read up a little bit on him. And by read up, I read one article. Probably like just the headline of the article. But no, he is not a bad actor. He was actually a very good actor on the show that Olivia Rodrigo got her start in, I think, High School Musical or whatever. So he was considered a very good actor on that show and showed a lot of depth and range. And so coming into this show, I think people were excited for him to take on this more mature role. And that's why I feel like it had to have just been a bad script. I mean, for one, they changed Sam's character in this show, so maybe he portrayed Sam exactly how the writers wanted him to. But that is not who he was in the book. And as a reader watching, I mean, everything I loved about Sam from the book was just completely stripped away. And every big scene that I expected to see from the book to the show was also gone. It like the scenes I was looking forward to weren't there, or they were done out of order and like changed slightly to where it wasn't the same.
Also, kid Sam looks nothing like adult Sam.
Nothing. They got the casting right for young Percy and young Charlie, I think. Actually, I dropped my notes. Hold on. But one thing I wrote, this was in like the first 10 minutes of the first episode. I wrote no, wait, what I write? Younger and older Percy looked the exact same age. I was like, honestly, older Percy could have played 10-year-old Percy. They chose an actress with just like a very young looking thing. And then young Charlie looked like adult Charlie. Young Sam, I mean, the casting there was so off that like, I don't know what they were thinking. And maybe they just didn't care because they're like, I don't know, when people go through puberty, they change. I don't know, but like, not that much.
Down to his skin tone. Like, adult Sam was like an olive skin tone, and like young Sam had like a peach pale skin tone. Like, it just didn't even have the same skin tone.
No.
And also, like, adult Sam didn't look anything like Charlie or his mother. Like, they didn't look related.
No, yeah, the casting department is not going to win any awards for this show. And also, I felt like at many points in the show, they should have put the timeline, the year, or like flashback, flash forward on the screen. Because I was able to keep up with it because I'd read the books. But my friend kept saying, okay, so wait, is this high school Percy or is this adult Percy? And I'd have to tell her because once they switched to the adult actors playing the younger ones, because like they did eventually use them to play the younger ones, I don't feel like they differentiated enough for a non-reader to know what was going on until several minutes into the scene.
Yeah, I agree. I would say so. I do think the first like 2 episodes really weren't far off from the book,
Mhm.
and I was kind of excited. I was like, oh, "This is a strong start. Like, what is everyone talking about?" And then episode 3 happened. You're like, "What the hell?" I think the biggest thing, and we talked about this, how we love this in the book, is whenever Percy tells Sam that she slept with Charlie, he's like, "I already know. I forgave you years ago." That is not the case. He hates her even more now. Like, whenever they're in the car, I think in the last episode or second last, and he's like, "I can never forgive you." Like,
Mhm.
that's not Sam.
No, that's not Sam. Literally, and we talked about this when we talked about the book when we filmed that episode. That is like one of the scenes that makes you just love Sam so much more. Is that Percy, because I even said, like, it kind of seems like Percy hasn't fully healed, hasn't fully grown up because when she tells him, then she has this panic attack and she tries to run away. And then Sam brings her back and he's like, are you really gonna just run away from this again? Like, no, let's fight it out, Percy. Let's do this. And then he's like, yeah, I knew this whole time and I still love you and want to be with you. And so you just have this overwhelming sense of comfort, like from Sam. Like, he is her safe place because he already knew and he was still pursuing her. Whereas in the show, it's not Sam. Like, I don't know who that guy was, but it's not Sam. And two, for him to turn on Charlie and like, trash pictures of him and Charlie or go beat up him and Charlie's I was just like, it's too much. It's too angsty. It's too angry. And you waited until the last 5 minutes of the show to bring Sam back as like almost like he comes back to see Percy and she's like, "Oh, you came home." And he's like, "I came home." But you're like, yeah, but you're still an ass, Sam. Like,
They're trying to make that parallel of like Percy came home and then like Sam came home, but like that's not the point of the book. It's not the point of the story at all. And
and so when it ended, I was like, thank goodness for the
it was like it was so dumb. I was telling Marissa like throughout it, I'm like, they did the impossible and made every single character unlikable, and the ones that didn't exist in the book, they created them and then made you hate them.
I so I read an article again. It was probably the same article I read. When I say I read an article, I literally mean I read a single article.
Was it the one I sent you?
Probably. But whichever one it was, the writer said, "Oh, Chantel was the big surprise of the show. She was the best." I didn't like her. I didn't like any of the characters, honestly, but my problem with Chantel was at the start of the show, she has a perfect guy. Like, he just seems so nice and perfect. So when she starts getting with Jordy, you're like, what's going on? Well, then they bring the fiance back in and you're like, okay, no, wait, he's a child. I get it now. But also, Chantel, you should probably just break up with him. Like, you're this big adult lawyer, just break up with him.
Yeah, like none of the characters like made sense. They all were like contradicting themselves. No, Chantal was a big contradiction because she's like this big badass, but she's like too scared to break up with her fiance. Also, in the book, Chantel's in a very healthy relationship, and we look to her as a guide, as like a source
Yes.
of like Percy confides in Chantel and gets advice from Chantel in the book. But now Chantel's even a bigger mess than she is, and you're
Yeah.
like, but why? Like, I don't understand. Like why?
It wasn't necessary.
I tried like so. I did not read Vampire Diaries or Pretty Little Liars growing up. I would assume. Actually, I read Pretty Little Liars after I watched the show, but more as like I listened to it as like comical relief.
Hmm.
And I think those are very closely like they changed everything in those books and they just kind of ran with the series. And I feel like they're doing that for this, but I'm just not here for it. Like we grew up with Twilight, we grew up with Hunger Games, we grew up with Harry Potter. Those they made changes. They were fine. They kept the plot. They made you like the characters still.
Yeah. The only thing that they kept from this book is that there's a lake. Oh, this was actually so funny. My friend was watching, and when it was revealed that Sue died or whatever, and they were planning the funeral and stuff, and Ashley, my friend, she goes, "Oh, did she really die in the book?" And I was like, "Okay, that is one thing that they did keep the same. She really died in the book."
Even made her unlikable. They made her have all these flaws, and it's like also, you don't speak ill of the dead.
Yeah. Yeah, that was bizarre that they added. You're right, they even made her unlikable. They added that backstory of, like, she was an absentee mom for Charlie, and that's why he has his trauma, and she I don't know, like, that I didn't even process that. That makes me mad because she was a good person in the book.
Yeah, like, you're so sad that Percy didn't come and, like, be with her because she's, like, a second mother to her.
They didn't even mention that. They didn't even mention how, like, she was the one who told Charlie to call Percy and how she knew what Percy did.
I think they might have.
Did they?
I think Charlie brought it up in the beginning, but it was never discussed that Sue knew they slept together and Sue forgave her. There was never, like, any of that closure. Um, like, I remember Percy going to Sam in the book and being like, "Does your mom hate me for sleeping with Charlie?" And he's like, "No, my mom was more mad at Charlie. Like, she forgave you." Like, it was none of that.
Yeah.
They just made Sue, and I also don't understand how she can be an absentee mom to Charlie, but not an absentee mom to Sam, who are like 2 years apart.
Because Charlie protected him from that. Obviously, Charlie blocked him from all that going on.
Also, why are we making Charlie so angry?
Yeah, Charlie, when he was fixing that car, and Chantel's like, "I'll just call an Uber," and he's like, "My mom will know if we call an Uber." And Chantel's like, "Okay, she did, but you do you, boo." You know, like, that I was like, okay, I haven't read the second book, so I don't know. Maybe Charlie does have crazy anger issues and, like, mama issues, but that didn't come across in the first book, so it just came out of nowhere for me.
Yeah, none of these characters, like, even like they did not exist in the book. Whoever made this show either skimmed the book or had a vendetta against the book.
Yeah. No,
It's
I agree.
and no one had chemistry.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm like, I honestly thought maybe Jordy and Delilah were gonna have chemistry. But then they did the Chantel plot, and so I was like, "Okay, well, they don't have chemistry." That matchup's never gonna work because she is a big time lawyer. She's not gonna give that up. She's addicted to her work. At least that's the character you presented to me on the show, so I'm running with it. And Jordy is like a hotel worker. You know, like, he's not gonna make it in big time Seattle, and she's not gonna make it in little life, lake life. So, like, this isn't gonna work. So what are we doing? Fine. Delilah was her own thing. I know you don't like her. But Charlie, I mean, he was good to look at, but honestly, I felt the same way you did. At one point, you texted me and said, "I'm rooting for Charlie and Percy." And I was like, you know what? Of the people on the show, I think they do have the most chemistry.
It was like the last two episodes. I'm like, honestly, like, let's ship them at this point. Whenever she's in the closet, like, having her breakdown, like, having her panic attack, and Charlie's the one comforting her. Where in the book, that's Sam.
Literally. And Charlie is like, "Oh, is that what happened after we?" Because, like, he didn't know she had panic attacks. Sam's the one who knew that. Sam knew how to comfort her. Sam knew how to take care of her. Oh, you know what else? You know what else I'm a little pissed off that they left out? Speaking of Charlie, Sam, and Percy, Charlie is the one who suggested Sam teach her to swim. Because Sam wanted her to be a runner and she was, like, not doing great. She wasn't enjoying it. And Charlie's like, "You should teach her to swim." Instead, they made that, like, Sam's idea or something. I don't know. Like, I was just like, once again, like, a little change that I don't get why, because that would have fed into your plot of, like, ooh, love triangle, Charlie, Sam, Percy. Like, that could have helped feed, and instead you just left it out.
To villainize Charlie, they want to make him this, like, evil character, so he probably has, like, some redemption arc next season, but, like, you're making him so bad that no one wants to root for him.
Yeah. Okay. So there was one change that I didn't really think about, and I'm wondering how you feel about it, which is technically in the book, Percy cheated on Sam because technically they weren't broken up. Whereas in the show, she did not sleep with Charlie until Sam had actually explicitly broken up with her via email. So someone pointed out that technically in the book she cheated and in the show she didn't. And I was like, I don't know. It seemed the same to me. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, like big of a change.
I thought they were on a break in the book.
In the book, they didn't break up. He just said, like, I want to talk less. Like, let's just talk once a week because you're smothering me, kind of
I don't.
thing.
I think he still was a jerk.
I know. He was a jerk either way. I just, yeah. And honestly, I was trying to figure out, was Book Sam also a jerk? And I just glossed over it more because reading about it is different than visually seeing it. Because I'm like, okay, if we do think about Book Sam, he does toy with her in a sense. Like they're on, they're off, they're on, they're on, or whatever. He wants her and then, oh, it's too much. And then he wants her again and like, oh, but, I'm focusing on myself. So like maybe it just as bad in the book, but it just felt worse in the show.
No, because adult Sam did not have those tendencies. He was like kind to her when he came back. Like he broke up with the girlfriend the minute he saw Percy.
Yes.
He wasn't like gonna go propose. Like he kind of was like fully locked in on Percy as soon as she came back, and he was like in it to like get them better, and he was like much more level headed. Teenager Sam, I don't think was much different. Like I think teenager Sam was kind of a jerk, and it kind of goes on to the fact that Charlie called him out on this. Like he always thought Percy was his, and no one would
Yeah.
take Percy from him.
Mm-hmm.
And like and just thought that he can leave her behind and she'd be waiting for him. So I
Mm-hmm.
do think like yeah, teenage Sam sucked, but like adult Sam was not. Like adult Sam here was like smashing things with bats, like fine. Like it was just like so much fighting or being a little brat is an
Yeah.
adult. I'm like, what is this?
Now, adult Sam was literally so immature. I did not enjoy adult Sam, which is unfortunate because he's my favorite in the book, other than I also like Charlie in the book. But so there were two scenes I really wanted in the show. Both eventually made it into the show, but they were so altered and so different that they were not the same. The first scene for me that I really wanted was the Sue talk to them after Percy slept over. But in the show, after Percy sleeps over, they don't kiss in the show, but then they come down and it's Charlie who's there. And you're like, oh, shoot, like I wanted the Sue scene. So I just thought it wasn't going to be there. But then later they did put in the Sue scene, but like the verbiage was so altered that it was not, it didn't, like it was funny in the book and cute in the book. And I felt like the show was just, it took it a different way. I didn't like that. And then the other one in the book, we talked about this in the book episode, but how they got it on in his truck outside the memorial, which they did in the show, but it was like goodbye sex in the show. Whereas the other one was like this moment of passion and rekindling. So again, I'm just like, two of my favorite scenes that I was so looking forward to, the show just took them and changed them and made me hate them.
No, it was like I can't think of any person who read these books that will like the show. And I try to find articles of people who didn't read the books and their opinion on the show, and I didn't see many. And I even was trying to look up like interviews of Carly Fortune to be like, are people asking her questions about how bad the show is? But I didn't find any of that. I just found like one article where she said that heated rivalry allowed, they originally wanted to put Barry's Bay in Minnesota, and she was
Okay.
able to move it to Canada because of heated rivalry going off. And I said, like, and that goes back to like, do they think we're just so dumb that we're not going to root for a show in Canada?
I don't understand. Like, who are these? So I'm like, who are these freaking creators? And they're both women. The creators of this show are both women. So, like, why do they hate us?
Also, why change the name?
Okay, I did look that up, and the reasoning made sense, except the name change doesn't, like, okay, the reasoning is this. Let me just tell you. The reasoning is because they want to make sure they can build a world where things can happen outside of this summer. And I'm like, every summer after indicates there will be summers after this summer. So what? How did changing it to every year after like, I'm just like, you didn't have to change the name. And I feel like it's such a slap in the face to Carly Fortune because now people might not be able to find her book or they'll try and look it up and they'll be like, oh, is it the same thing? Like, that's weird. And it's like, just leave it the same. It was popular for a reason. It made sense. The next book takes place in the summer too, from what I understand. So why?
Well, I was trying to think back to Off Campus and how it's like the deal, but it's like in the Off Campus series, so they can name the
Mhm.
whole show Off Campus.
Yeah.
So what do they do here? And I was like, what would you name it? Because now we're like kind of going off the plot where it's like it's One Golden Summer, but called Every Year After. Like, so it doesn't really make sense. So it's like they should
Mhm.
have named it like Barry's Bay or something.
Yes. If they wanted to follow the off campus script, they could have just named it Barry's Bay. And then people would know all the books under that umbrella are under the Barry's Bay like title on Amazon. That would have been fine. But to change just like one word in the title, it was like, honestly, it really peeved me off.
No, like it's just it's such a shame because Off Campus like is such a hit. And they did such a good job. And arguably, I feel like Every Summer After is more of a fan favorite of a book.
Mm.
Like it's
Yeah.
more widely read.
Yes. The deal is definitely like you have to be into sports romance. It's more niche. Whereas this is kind of more one of those like bigger romances that kind of fits a lot of different genres. So a lot of different people could like it. So I agree with that take. But for whatever reason, the off campus show was amazing. And this one was not. And like I said, I honestly, in all of this, just feel bad for Carly Fortune because imagine this show coming out around the same time as Off Campus, everyone praising it, hyping it up, sharing the reels. No one is talking about this except to say bad things.
Yeah, and she's like going to all these press tours and everything. Like I do feel awful for her. If this was my book, I would be so upset. And I feel like I keep getting keep getting like Instagram target or I wouldn't say they're targeted ads, but they're on my feed and like I don't follow people. And what is it called? The For You page.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're making the book. What's one of her? It's not Every Golden Summer. It's a different one of her books. They're producing it as well. And they're like talking about casting for it. And it's like, I don't trust it. Oh, this summer will be different.
Mm. I
It's
hope the
like,
show will be different.
I hope someone else makes it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
No, it
frustrating.
doesn't give me confidence in it. I do. I feel really bad for her. I don't know. And it's crazy because that article that I read had said that Every Summer After premiered as like the number one show on Amazon. So of course it got renewed for a second season. But I'm like, okay, but do you really think people are going to want to watch the second season after I mean, we all watched the first season, yeah, but it was bad. So like, I don't know. Like, I'm sure I'll watch the second season if we're going to record a podcast episode on it. But otherwise, like, I wouldn't probably actively choose to watch it.
If we didn't have this podcast and weren't planning to do an episode on it, I would not have finished it.
No, no. I was livid after. I mean, you said it wasn't until episode 3. I feel like I was livid after episode 2. Like I feel like I just couldn't. I tried to go in with an open mind because I was like, I don't like when people just bash on things unnecessarily. Like that's not fair. I'm gonna go in with an open mind. And then like as I was going, I just started writing down little things and little things. And then the more I wrote down, the more I was like, wait, I shouldn't be writing this much down after one episode. Like we're one episode in and you've changed 18 things. Okay, fine. Let me move on. But yeah, I mean, no doubt I wouldn't have finished the series if we weren't recording this.
And so like I am torn on every year after like season 2 because I mean I just feel like I'm already going in with a negative thoughts. Like also like this ambiguous like are they together, are they not together? Like I mean plot twist, I mean spoiler warning, they end up together in the book, so how are we going to start the next book where they're already together and they're like ambiguously together? Like I don't know, it's a freaking like it's a happy ever after like rom-com. Why are they not together?
Literally, I was thinking about it too as it ended. I was thinking about Off Campus. And it's like I hate that I'm comparing these two shows, but okay, they were both book to screen adaptations that came out at around the same time, both Amazon Prime. So of course I'm going to compare them. And guess what? off campus stayed true to the book and ended it with a happily ever after between Garrett and Hannah. And they didn't change anything to make that happen. They didn't introduce like a new love angle or anything like that. Like it was clear it was going to be Hannah and Garrett. Boom, chicka pow, ends over. This, when you texted me, you were like, a happy ending, yes or no? I'm like, I think it's a happy ending, but it's a little ambiguous. Because, yeah, it's like as of the last 10 minutes of the episode, Sam is an ass. Percy has left. She's moving on with her life, and Charlie and Sam are estranged. Then you get the last, 5 minutes or whatever, and Sam and Percy see each other again. And there's this moment of like, are they going to reconcile? We don't know. Tune in next season to find out.
And then Charlie passes out.
I know. And then Charlie keels over, and you're like, oh, the end.
It just makes me so mad.
It makes me mad for Carly Fortune.
Well, so I just looked up who is making the next one, and it is Netflix.
Okay.
And it will be filmed in Canada.
Good. Good.
Stress.
I'm like, why? Americans, we live right next to Canada. I think we can stomach a season in Canada.
Yeah. It sounds more exotic than Minnesota. I'd rather go to Canada than Minnesota.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't understand why people hate us so much. Like, just put it in Canada. We're fine with that.
Also, like, we're just book girlies. Like, just follow the book.
Follow the book. It was popular for a reason. Like, it blew up for a reason. Just, you have the script right there. Read it and then give it to the actors.
I do want to circle back on one point. So I think it's really funny that Chantel is like going for Jordy when she left her last boyfriend, or she might leave him. I actually don't even know if she officially left him for being a child. Well, when Jordy literally seems like a child.
Yes, but he's a fun child, Kayla. He's a fun child.
Also, another thing that I really thought was like a really stupid plot line was the fact that Delilah got pregnant, and it was Percy's fault for not knowing that and going to have this really awesome night with Sam, and they were like, do it for the first time. And freaking like Jordy like is like comes in yelling at her like, "Oh, you're such a bad friend, Percy," and was like, Delilah sat there like I didn't say anything. How is she supposed to know?
Yeah. Also, it could have been like a little cautionary tale about getting it on with Sam, like, hey, by the way, there's this side effect. I don't know if you've heard of it.
It's called pregnancy. Also, what happened there? Did she get an abortion?
So I was literally thinking about that. I'm glad you brought this up because I realized that is another, what I consider unresolved plot line. They didn't say what happened. And I was like, at any point, did Delilah mention having children? I don't think she does. So unless she had it and adopted it out, I don't know. I guess we're just supposed to use context clues. But I was like, why did you introduce this for literally a 15-minute plot that then you didn't even resolve?
It was like, it made you just like Jordy, Jordy, chill. Like, she's not a bad friend. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then also, like, it just like ruined Sam and Percy's night. That would have been really special. I guess it was because like they didn't sleep together in the book until they were adults. But like, then just don't write in the scene of them getting it, like them having the house to themselves.
Well, also, like, I don't feel it was Jordy's place to share that information with anyone. Like, Delilah's literally booking it out of town and she didn't tell Percy. And then Jordy comes on and shouts her business to both Sam and Percy. And it's like, dude, that's kind of personal.
Like, did they not do the textbook scene?
The anatomy thing?
Yeah.
They did that in the show. That was Sam and Percy's first kiss in the show, which isn't their first kiss in the book, but whatever.
I missed that.
Yeah, I was only half paying attention to the last several episodes. I literally was editing videos on my phone while watching.
No, it was so bad. It was like really hard to like sit through a full episode. Like I had to do it in intervals because I'm like, this is just such bad TV.
I'm so disappointed. Yeah, I feel bad saying that the acting was bad, but the acting was bad. And again, I'll blame it on the script writing because I think they have good actors. But okay, so script writing was bad. Changing the show was bad. Like, it was just bad. All of it was bad. There's nothing from the show that I think they did better than the book.
No, absolutely nothing. They made Charlie too angry and too like all over the place. Like he was really hot and cold. They made Sam super immature with the inability to forgive. They made Percy super annoying and indecisive. They and Chantel, like, not make sense, where one minute she's, like, a strong, independent lawyer, and the next minute she's cheating on her fiancé?
Yeah, makes no sense.
And then Delilah has so many unresolved plot lines. Like, she's getting divorced, she loses her house, but, like, then she gets pregnant by some other guy in high school. Like, you're like, so she's so all over the place. It's, like, so obvious they wrote her in just for, like, to get some stuff in.
Yeah. Yeah. Because as I said when we did the book review, I said, this is a book that could be done in an hour and a half movie. And I said, I'm curious to see what they're going to do with the show because I don't feel there's enough material here to be 8 episodes. And you know what? I think that's why they added 10,000 things that weren't in the book that made absolutely no sense. And they should have just made it a great little movie.
I'm really happy the Love Hypothesis is a movie.
Yes.
And I am praying they stay to the script because, oh my god, if they ruin two of my favorite books, I'm gonna just give up on watching all these, like, adaptations.
At least they got an amazing actress for that one. Like, I didn't know any of these people, but I know Lily Reinhart. She is so amazing. And she's such a nice, like, person that I'm just like, I'm rooting for her so much. Like, I'm excited for that one. And if they ruin it, I'm going to have words for them.
I feel like these actors didn't read the source material.
I don't know. I think what you had texted me at one point, you said, it's like they skimmed the book and said, yeah, we could make a show out of that. I think that pretty much sums up what they did. They maybe read the back cover. They said, yeah, this sounds interesting. Let's turn this into a show. And then threw the book away and went off on their merry way. That's all. That's the only thing that makes sense.
It's just a shame. I mean, going back to The Summer I Turned Pretty, that changed things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you read the books, did you?
No.
They changed things here and there. There was, like, no debutante, anything like that, but it was never anything substantially to the plot.
Yeah. Yeah. I enjoyed that show, honestly.
It was so good. No, it was a really good show. Off Campus was really good. Like, it's so crazy how they could make such a bad show off a great book. But I guess I'm repeating myself at this point, but I'm just, like, still speechless about how bad it was.
I know. I am too. And at this point, like, I don't think I have anything else to add because I think we've hit it all. And at the end of the day, even if you brought something else up, it would just be like another headache for me. Like, yeah, I agree. It sucked. I'm done with it. I just want to wash my hands of it. Like, that last episode for me dragged on for like 8 hours. Like, I know it was probably only an hour long, but it was like every time I thought it was about to be over, then a new scene popped up. And I was like, can we just be done? Like, we're done with you. And so when it ended, I was like, thank goodness for the credits. Because I don't want to revisit it for another year. Like, if we want to do the next season for the pod, I'll do it. I'll do it for you. But I am not revisiting the first season.
I want to reread One Golden Summer again to make myself like it again, but I'm gonna maybe do that. I feel like we gotta do it for the next TV show. Let's rage watch it.
We can rage watch it. We can do it. But yeah, no, I was so excited to read because I literally wasn't supposed to buy any books. And then this one was $1 at the thrift store. And I was like, well, we just finished Every Summer After. I'm going to jump right into this. And now I'm like, can I bring myself to jump right into it?
It's a really good book. I hate that I hate that people are being so turned off to it because it's like one of her best books she's ever written.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Maybe I just needed this like rage session to get it all out. And then remember that this show was not Carly Fortune's fault. When an author sells the rights to their book, unfortunately, the shows get to do whatever they want. And I'm not mad at Carly, so I will read this. And I'm sure it will be great because it won't be written by whoever wrote the show.
Well, speaking of what you did this past week, which is watch the show, you finished my most recent favorite book.
I did. Oh my gosh. And my first surprise pregnancy. Trope. I am not pregnant.
Isn't it great?
Oh my gosh, I loved it. The thing is, though, because I knew it was a surprise pregnancy, I kept waiting for someone to get pregnant. And I was 50% of the way through, and I was like, why is nobody pregnant?
Yeah, that's so funny.
But it was so good. I mean, I have videos of myself just literally like bawling my eyes out because it was, I mean, I can't give spoilers, but it really was like just so healing, so good. I loved it. And I was like, you know what? I think I might be on the surprise pregnancy trope train with you. I think I like it.
So that book was Wild Card by Maggie Gates. We'll get into it more in our monthly wrap up. I honestly feel like we need to do a Beaufort Poker Club just like episode of just dissecting that series. But no, it's so good. And yeah, no, haven't read any surprise pregnancy trope recently, but we might have to circle back to those.
Yeah, no, it was very good. I'm glad it was my first one because I am also working through the off campus books and I've heard there may be a surprise pregnancy in my future. Again, a surprise pregnancy trope. I'm not getting pregnant.
I was editing my most recent video, which is just like me reading over my like summer shutdown, and I kept on saying, "In a surprise pregnancy trope mood," and I'm like, if someone like not in the book world watches this, they're gonna be like, what's wrong with this girl?"
Just need someone to get pregnant. Oh my gosh. No, I liked it. My friend is very the friend I was there with, she's very anti surprise pregnancy. It's just she was like, are you liking it? Are you enjoying it? I was like, honestly, I think I'm gonna read another now.
When they use like especially that one's like a not his baby trope too, and he's like,
I
"I'm gonna
know.
take care of you and this child." It's like I swoon.
And like, oh my gosh, when they were doing the sonogram and she was like, the doctor asked if you had any questions and she couldn't think of any because her brain's all scrambled. But then he jumps in asking question and question and question because he is committed and he is concerned about mama and baby. And I was like, oh, I love that.
I don't know what this says about us, but I don't think people read true surprise pregnancy tropes where it's like the whole plot. People get annoyed when it goes into fantasy books and it's like kind of like with the Feyre situation, like it changes the like characters they love. Like the plot of these romance books is the fact that they're pregnant. So
Yes. Yes.
I was saying that to Rebecca. I was like, no, like these are just like it's different.
Yeah. Like, no, like they want the baby and the guy steps up and he's gonna be the daddy now. Like, it's good.
Well, I would say Maggie Gates' other surprise pregnancy trope, which is Seven of Hearts, which is like like a spin-off in the Beaufort Poker Club series. That's for your next one because it's like in the same worlds. And that one also is a true surprise pregnancy trope.
See, I'm super bummed that I didn't buy anything now in her sale because at the time I had only finished Poker Face. And like, honestly, when I say push through Poker Face, it's not even a bad book. But like the second book is just so amazing that if people can just get to it. Oh my gosh, as soon as I finished, I went on her website and was like, is there anything I can get? Because like it was so good.
I just wish she read this book before we interviewed her.
Oh my gosh, I would have been so much better at interviewing her if I had read this. First of all, I would have only talked about Erica and Steve.
Like I can't. I know you have a new book coming out, but we can't talk about that.
We're going to have to talk about the Beaufort Poker Club. No, I loved it. Oh, so good. Anyway.
Well, we're gonna be on the ground up on her biggest fans.
Yeah. No, I think she is so underrated.
100%.
I don't understand why she is not a bigger talked about romance author. She has so many books.
Even her website's so user friendly of like where to start. And she has
Mhm.
so many different types of genres too, where she's like small beach town, like cowboy romance. So, okay, we probably should stop. We probably should stop recording and wrap it up. So, we wanted to end on a high. Well, I don't know if you're never going to keep this in, but I wanted to end on a high after we just bashed the crap out of every year after. So, if you want a high, definitely read the Beaufort Poker Club series by Maggie Gates because it's so good.
So good. And if you want a low, go watch Every Year After.
So thanks for watching. This is Kayla.
And Marissa.
And make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok at Book Talks Podcast. Hit subscribe and join our table group chat at Book Talks Podcast Book Club. Have a good night.